Good morning, church. We're in John chapter 17 today. You know, you can learn a lot about somebody when you hear them pray, and the entire chapter of John 17 is an intimate look at the prayer life of Jesus. When we think about Jesus praying, we oftentimes think about his prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane as he's overcome with sorrow and grief facing his execution. Or we might think about his prayer teaching in Matthew chapter 5, oftentimes referred to as the Lord's Prayer. But some would suggest that this chapter here is more truly the Lord's Prayer because it is Jesus in actual prayer before the Father about his needs and his desires. And he prays for a lot of things here. First of all, he prays for himself. He prays that God would be glorified through him. In fact, here's his exact words: "Glorify your Son, that your Son may glorify you." You know, that idea of glorification or giving or receiving glory happens in the Gospel of John more than any other Gospel account. 7 or 8 references just in this one chapter alone. So I'd love your insight as to what it means to give glory and what it means to receive glory. But Jesus is saying, as I submit to your will and go to the cross, I hope that you will be glorified through that, and I hope that your glory will then be passed on to other disciples because of that act. Then he prays for his gathered disciples that are sitting around him, and for them he prays for protection. He says, I've been ministering with these 12 and I've been protecting them, but I am going to leave here, and I need you, Father, to give them your protection. And we see that protection played out later on in the Gospels and in the book of Acts. And even though these disciples face hardships and pain and sometimes even death, we see God providing this circle of physical sometimes and always spiritual protection for those who follow after him. And then toward the end of the prayer, Jesus is praying for those who will come to faith through these disciples. Really, he's praying for me and for you. And for those people, for us, he prays for unity. Here's his exact words when he says this: I pray that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. Jesus is saying the greatest threat to the kingdom by the hands of Satan is always disunity, division, and heresy. And I pray that these followers of me will stick together, because it is only in that sense of unity, togetherness, that they'll be able to fight against the power of Satan in their lives. And in that, here's what he says: may they also be in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. Later on, he refers to that partially as this glory that he's sharing. Not only will God be glorified through us, but that others will be able to experience God's glory because of the unity that we demonstrate. I'd love your insights as to what it means to be praying for God's glory to be revealed. How in the world can we pray for God's protection in this modern age? And what a prayer for unity might look like and might entail for us. I'd love your insight, so share that on our Facebook page, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.